You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeep's here. Keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Cassidy 18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Hello, I'm John Waters, and I'm supposed to announce there is no smoking in this theater, which I think is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of in my life. How can anyone sit through a length of a film, and especially a European film, and not have a cigarette? But don't you wish you had one right now? And I'm telling you that smoke anyway. It gives ushers jobs, and if people didn't smoke, there would be no employment for the youth of today. So once again, no smoking in this theater.
The following program contains strong language that is not suitable for young children. Viewer discretion is advised.
The Jeff Meach'S Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
Here on the Jeff Meach'S Network, the Cassidy Studios, the Greg Cherry brand, the J. Hebert Side 95 Studios, the Simple Man brand, and on my X page, whatever you want to call it, and Greg's Twitter, and my Facebook. We are on Instagram as well. Keep that in mind. So we are going out literally across the multiverse. I can take that banner down. I guess if I'm live, I guess I can take it down there, right? So there was a question in the chat room, and about what we're talking about today. Well, if you read the description, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, we do have topics that we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give the Instagram folks a little bit more time to come on in here and see that I'm live. I don't see anybody in yet, but I don't know how to make that a thing on Instagram like I do here on the rest of the on the other platforms. But we are going to talk today about, I'm going to read exactly what I put. So there's no, let's see. What did I say? What I said was, on this week's episode, we're going to discuss the importance of honest communication, as well as the difference between fandom and foolishness. Those are our two topics today. I kind of have alluded to both of those vaguely over the last little while here. Last couple weeks or so. So first thing, honest communication. Now, I know a great portion of my audience is males, young males, if you will, guys either my age or younger than me. Some older than me. I know quite a few of the over 40 club here as well. So here's what it's going to be. And don't you dare call me Batista Mansfield. I will kick your ass. Anyway, recently in my the other side of my professional life, there was a definitely miscommunication between myself and a coworker that really, and not really a coworker because we don't work in the same department where I am employed outside of here, but it really made me think a lot about communication between the genders, if you will. And I honestly am sick to death of men like me, and I say men like me being over 40, a little bit on the heavy side. I'm more than a little, but not exactly appealing to every eye, if I'm being honest with myself and with you, as I always try to do. Getting labeled as the creepy old guy for simply being friends or attempting to be friends with a person far more attractive than I am. And it happens a lot. And I understand there is a stigma that goes along with being in entertainment, in sport, in the public eye, if you will, in any fashion. That if you are of the attractive persuasion, that you automatically are going to get hit on, going to get flirted at, going to have passes made at you. And I am just so damn sick to death of that always being the assumption. Despite what is put out there in society, despite what is put out there in the media, not every single one of us guys is out there to get into every single one of y'all's pants. That's just not my nature. It's not the nature of a lot of people I know. And yet we get labeled like that because we're a guy. And the guys always think with the wrong brain, right? So I want to take part of my however long I'm going to be on the air today, which, we're whatever time it is. We are officially 5 minutes into the show, but 12 minutes with trailers. 5 minutes in, I want to officially apologize to anybody out there, regardless of your gender, regardless of your political affiliation, regardless of what you are, and talk to the human being. And I want to apologize to anybody, and I mean anybody out there that I have made uncomfortable with the way I have attempted to express my desire to be a friend. I can assure you, and I'm going to briefly take these off because the sunglasses and the NWO shirt are code for those of you that are in the know about the code. If you don't, pass on to your friends in the chat room. But I want you all to look me in the eye right now and know that I am sincerely sorry to any of you out there that I have made uncomfortable, feel like they've had advances made, whatever you want to classify it as. I assure you, with my good eye, apparently my bad eye, God, I realized how bad my eye sunk without glasses on. That's horrible. This is not the case. I have no desire to sleep with you. I have no desire to go on a date with you. I have no desire to do any of that. If you are my friend, you are my friend, and I am greatly appreciative of your friendship. However, let me glasses back on now. If you feel like I am being your friend simply to score or do something like that with you, please do one of two things. Tell me that's how you feel, or kindly fuck the hell off. Thanks. Appreciate you. Because I'm done dealing with people that think I'm phony, and I'm tired of dealing with phonies. I am too damn old and too damn set in my ways to change how I approach my life and how I approach others in my life. This is who I am. If you don't like me, feel free to not discuss anything about your life with me. And kindly, as I said, fuck the hell off. Cool? We good with that? Awesome. Honest, open communication. And that's great. I see the comment in the chat room about this the person will get me fired. I've already been called to the carpet for it, if we're being honest. It wasn't a lecture. It was we've been made aware of this. And it's like, I didn't do anything, but cool. If they want to, throw stones to their obviously glass house, fandom versus foolishness. Has nothing to do with me, really. It has nothing to do with really, I mean, it does have something to do with me in the fact that I am a fan and a friend of what I'm going to be talking about. But I mentioned this on, no, I forget which show it was because I kind of went off on it last week. So forgive me which show it was discussed on because I did a lot last week. It was busy last week. But it may have been Greg's show because I was during the time where we went early to accommodate my schedule. I was at a football game recently here at the high school, my old stomping grounds, and my high school, my team were pretty much handing the other team their ass. Great to see my boys doing so well, but toward the end of the game when we were up significantly, there was a call to action by parents sitting kind of in front of me and off to my right, just a hair here, about, rotate the players, put everybody else in, let everybody play. And it's like, I get that because we were up pretty significant amount at that point, and it was damn near a shutout. Friday's game was shut out, by the way, so congrats to the Cowboys. No, I'm sorry. Canyon Cowboys didn't get a shut up. Dallas Cowboys did, though. Dim boys. Congrats yesterday, boys. Anyway, we were up enough where it wouldn't have mattered if the other kids had been given an opportunity to play. And I get that. I have no problem with that being said once. Okay? Kept doing it all throughout the second half of the third quarter and the entire fourth quarter. So more than half of the second half of the game. And then they start yelling, put the real quarterback in. Learn how to throw the ball. Why are we always running? Pass the ball. Come on, coach, do your job. I got news for you, dudes. Okay? Because I've been at every level. I've coached. I've played. I've managed the equipment. I've done everything that has to do with high school football. Okay? If you think you can do a better job, please go let the principal know. Please go let, the administration know. Please go let the district know that you have an interest in taking time out of your day to help coach these kids. I got news for you. The guys that are already doing that job and have been named to do that job are taking time out of their teaching schedule because the majority of them teach at the high school. And they're giving their time to be part of this program. Just like the coaches and the teachers at the other schools in this district and the other schools around this country. They're giving of their time. They're giving of themselves to help educate and to coach your children. And I'm sorry that your child isn't getting time on the football field, getting the glory, because he is shown to be in practice, at least, not as good as the kid playing the position your child plays. If you have a problem with that, then go to the administration. Instead of yelling and bellowing like an idiot at a high school Now, you go to an NFL game, you go to a National Hockey League game, you go to a Major League Baseball game, these guys are getting paid millions of dollars. And they should be playing at a professional level worthy of being paid $1 million. You are yelling at teenagers and the coaches of teenagers, yelling at children. And part of what you're yelling is, put the real quarterback in, put the better quarterback in. How would you feel if you were sitting there having somebody else yell and it was your kid in there? Because that's what was happening. My kid's not on the football field. He chose not to play football. I respected his decision. But I sat there and listened to these buffoons yell, and I'm thinking, I wonder if the kid that is playing quarterback right now, I wonder if his parents are hearing this. And I wonder if your boy, the person you're yelling to put in, is hearing this on the sidelines, and his parents are hearing it on the sidelines. Or actually, if you're not your own kid, I wonder if your boy's hearing this. And God, what an embarrassment my father is to be acting like that, acting like an idiot and a child at a high school football game. Nobody more than me knows how important high school football is, okay? It's a culture. It is what it is. Pop Warner football into high school football is competitive. It's crazy how intense it is, okay? I get it. I didn't play Pop Warner football. I played only at the high school level, right? And this goes with any sports, by the way. I'm talking basketball. Anything high school sports, yes. 1 or 2 of that entire roster is going to go on to play football at the collegiate level enough to get noticed by a scout to maybe play in the NFL or, Canadian football or whatever the case may be. Great. Most of those kids are out there having fun and to meet their PE credit, if we're being honest. And to have you and your dipshit friends sitting there yelling at these kids and yelling at these people who are instructing your children and being tasked to do so by the administration or the district or whatever the case may be was disgusting to me. And for the first time in my life, I wanted to be anywhere on a Friday night except at a Cowboy football game. And that broke my heart because I was sitting there listening to these jack-offs just berate the coach's ability to do their job and these kids out there playing their hearts out. So that's the difference. If you're a fan, go enjoy watching the game and enjoy your son or your child being out there with his buddies, right? If you can't do anything but be a fool, read the recap on maxpreps.com or something and just stay the hell away from the stadium because you're a cancer. You're a problem. And you're making it a problem and you're making it uncomfortable for everybody else. Because none of those kids out there are getting paid the NFL money. None of those kids are out there, doing anything except what they want to do with their lives at some level. Because when you're a teenager, you don't have control of your life. Ask my kid. Ask me when I was that age. There's very few things you can control in your life when you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. One of them is choosing to play sports and choosing to have a good time doing those. I didn't have a good time playing sports in high school, playing football, I should say. I enjoyed the experience of being a Cowboy. That's what I want to be my whole life. But the actual participation within the program was hard on me because I couldn't deal with the intensity of the competitiveness of it. And I know a lot of those kids out there dealing with the exact same shit I was dealing with at that age. And it's hard. It's so hard on them. And I think it's disgusting that they get into, the parents get into it that much where they feel the need to fight. And it happened. I've seen it so many times at high school football games and high school hockey. My God, teenage playing hockey, parents are getting into fights in the stands. It's like, what the hell are we doing, people? We need to be better if we expect our kids to be better. That's just the way it is. And I found myself being so grateful that Dylan wasn't out there. Because if Dylan had been out there, if I'm being honest with myself, had Dylan been out there and been one of the kids on the field, not being rotated out, and I had some guy chirping about, take Meach'S out, I'd have probably swung on the guy because he was that much of an irritant and that much of a blowhard. It made my enjoying the second half completely impossible. I couldn't wait to get out of that stadium and get the hell back up here to the house and go to sleep because I was so disgusted with how the rest of the game turned out. Cowboys kicked major ass, and it didn't even matter to me. And I was so disgusted by that fact. First time I didn't want to be there. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. So, yeah, shootings at high schools over football. Like, what? It befuddles me. It really does. So that is what I wanted to talk about today on MEACH'S Musings. And I know I'm only about 15 minutes into the show here, give or take 17 now. But I did want to point that out because it made me so ill, pretty much like I am today. I've been sick all yesterday and today. I'm still not feeling all that hot, if we're being honest. But that's really just what I wanted to point out to everybody. And I wanted to encourage everybody to be better in their lives, and be more aware in your lives as well. Going back to the first topic, I've always been a friendly and apparently overly friendly person when it comes to discussions and interactions with the fairer sex, and that's 100% my bad, apparently. So again, I sincerely apologize if any of my female friends, my female fans, have felt like they've been treated as anything less than a friend. Was never my intention, unless I made you aware it was my intention over the years. And I did make it aware to a couple of you out there, and I know you're still my friend, and I love you for it, and I appreciate you for it. But to everybody else that just can't be honest, and look, I'm not trying to not be sensitive to those of you in the community at any gender, any person that has been traumatized by that sort of interaction going sideways. I don't discount or discredit anything of that nature being so hurtful and so harmful and traumatizing. But I also know what it feels like to be the one accused of when I didn't really do anything wrong. And I think that's where the line, this is a horrible, where is that coming from? Oh, it's the computer screen. Okay. What's this big giant blue in my eye? It's the damn computer screen. Well, let's just take care of that, because that's bugging me. Let's see what I can go away here. Hey, there we go. Cool. We'll go ahead and turn that back up, because I just realized I can't have my shot otherwise. Uh-oh, there it goes. Hi. Okay, let me turn it down just a smidge. Nope, too much. Too much. There we go. A little bit better. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. So thank you guys for taking the time to listen. I know it wasn't exactly a wrestling discussion show or anything. I can't see the comments of that. So I kind of, it's a catch-22, kids. Thank you guys all for watching and tuning in. I appreciate it very much. And I know it wasn't your typical Jeff Meacham fare, but that's kind of what Meachams is going to be going forward. The non-wrestling, talk wrestling, basically. The non-wrestling Jeff Meacham talk show. So I really appreciate everybody that came in today. I know I didn't get to the so JJ, you came in a little late. He says, "What did I miss? All I know is turn the show on and hear kindly fuck the hell off." All right, so JJ, I brought up a couple of things that happened as far as communication with anybody of any gender regarding feeling as if my approaches are anything but of friendship and not just trying to get in one's pants. The other part I said you came in after and heard about the high school stuff. I will not be on No DQ tonight. Aaron will be. But I will be, let's see, No DQ will be, I'll be on No DQ Thursday night with Talk Wrestling. Josh, yes, Ahsoka. So very happy about the existence of this show. Very excited to see where it goes after the first 4 weeks. The end of last week's episode was pretty cool. It's going to be on tomorrow. Looking forward to seeing where that goes now that we've seen what we've seen. Again, no spoilers, because JJ is waiting until the end of the series first season to binge watch it. So I'm looking forward to seeing where Ahsoka goes. And I'm looking forward to going back to work apparently on Wednesday, not after that, like I thought. And seeing Ahsoka in the parks. She's a meetable character, as is, I think, Hera is her name. Still trying to learn the characters as we go here. But yeah, that's really, yeah, you know what? I did want to bring that up, Jay, so thank you. Give me 1 second, because I did want to go throw on a different hat for that particular part of the show. So bear with me, guys. And I'll actually take the sunglasses off, because I'm not nearly as pissed as I was. And I got to vet all that shit out. So just let me change costume here very briefly. Not the shirt, because I do love the shirt. But we'll have to go ahead and throw the proper specs on so y'all can see me better. Hi. So I'm putting the Kings hat on from 2012, the Stanley Cup Championship hat, because it was one of these hats that was laid at the 9/11 Memorial when we won this, when the Kings won the Stanley Cup back in 2012. Because two of our scouts, Ace Bailey and Mark Davis, were on one of the planes that went into the World Trade Center towers on this day, 22 years ago. I will never forget that day as long as I live, ever. There's a few days that will always be with me, no matter how many concussions I get, how much my brain deteriorates, because I was laying right here, recovering from my car accident back on August 27th/20th, depending on what time of day. I don't know what time I actually impacted on the concrete. So other than sleeping or bathing, I was on the spot. It's not the same couch, but on the corner of our couch, just recovering, interacting with my family when they would come home, interacting with my grandmother when she would come and take care of me during the day when my parents were working. And I came out. I'd been trying to wake up a couple different times from my dad going to work and then my grandmother arriving about 8:30 our time here in California, and shaking them off both times because I was very tired, very fatigued still from recovering from the trauma to the head, and just very fatigued in general. I was a lot at that point. And I came out here around that corner about 11:20 or so to watch my stories with grandmother, The Young and the Restless, at 11:30. And I ran to the corner. I looked at the TV. That's no longer here. It's a different TV now, but same spot. And they were showing a replay of that second plane going into the towers. And I just stopped, transfixed on what I was seeing and not believing what I was seeing. The fact that this country was being attacked within from outside forces. It was just a horrible, horrible day, horrible, horrible moment in time. And the week and the way it unfolded was profound in a lot of ways. We lost my mom's dad that week in Oregon. So my mom and my aunt were unable to fly up to Oregon to say goodbye to him because everything was grounded at that point still 2 days later. Right. I'll never forget SmackDown that week and Mr. McMahon and everybody rallying the country and the WWF fandom to get together to stand up to the assaults and show that life would go on. I always remember Lee Greenwood coming out to the Yankee game and singing "God Bless the USA." Short time later, I'll always remember SNL coming back on and Lorne Michaels asking Mayor Giuliani, can we be funny? And Mayor Giuliani, who, wherever you think of Rudy now, he says, why start now? It was so funny. Just a little zinger at Lorne Michaels, even on a down day. But things slowly went back to normal, I guess, however you want to classify it. But I always remember that it was definitely a interesting day, and it's always been on my mind. I tie in 9/11 with my car accident. I always will, because it was only 2 weeks apart, and I will always think of that day whenever I think about my car accident, because again, they are so. And I always think about my car accident when I think about 9/11 because they are so intertwined. At least in my mind. So, yeah. As far as tonight's Raw and the, yes, the final Raw of the McMahon era, if you want to call it that, because yes, this is the last broadcast of WWE programming that will be under solely the auspices of the McMahons and the shareholders, because as of, again, if you saw the report, the merger, the transaction, whatever you want to call it, with Endeavor will go into effect tomorrow. So UFC, WWE will be under one parent company. Endeavor, TKO Holdings, I believe, is the name of the new parent company, and it'll be different, I think. I don't know how much the television presentation or the premium live presentation will change, but I have a feeling that the WWE infrastructure, as however much we know about it on the inside, is going to change. And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I'm definitely curious about the future, but I'm hopeful, a lot more hopeful than some people seem to be, about WWE and its future, and UFC and what they will be doing, and the wrestling business in general. And we talked a lot about the state of the industry on Saturdays with Mike Night. I can't encourage you guys enough to go check that out in the archives over, again, across the multiverse. All 5 channels showed that we all discussed that the state of WWE and NXT and Impact and AEW and Ring of Honor, and I'm hopeful for it. A lot of it has changed in this last year and a half since the reports first came out about Vince and his shenanigans, allegedly. And yes, regardless of what you think of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, Mr. McMahon, whatever, tonight is the end of an era. I am hopeful that whatever comes out of tonight and whatever comes out of the merger going on, going into effect tomorrow, that we will have a business to cover for many years to come on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and bow out because it is now 1:30, and I'm trying to get ready to go out the door. I get to go home tonight and have a little bit of dinner with the family, get a little laundry done, because Lord knows we all need that in this world, is to get some laundry done. So thank you guys again for listening or watching. If you're able to look at my mug on screen the last half hour or so, lots of stuff going on across the multiverse. You saw the trailer that JJ massively put together. So thank you again to JJ for doing that. Thank you to James for the ad/intro for Sapboy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou, which is tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's really it. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you. If you watch on No DQ, check them out tonight for their Raw recap with Aaron. And we'll see you tomorrow on Sapboy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou, on the Greg Cherry Show, on Talk Wrestling on Thursday. And next week's episode of Dads, the top 10 rock and roll lead singers of all time. And of course, every Saturday on Open Mic Night. Again, a lot of cool stuff coming up this week, as we always do. And be excellent to each other. That's right. Take care of yourselves and each other, as Jerry Springer once said. I see my niece popping into the chat room right here at the last minute. Now you have to go back and watch this half hour because I got to go. But thank you all very much. What is the question I just missed here? Walt Before Mickey's a cool documentary. Another cool one. All right, guys. That's it for real this time. Have a good night.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.